What's up? I am Runs with Alpacas, and I have another deck profile. This one is my build for ninjas, and I'm really excited to show you it. It's a lot of fun to play, it's very fast paced, and it's very consistent. More consistent than you would think. The whole goal of this deck is to pendulum out a bunch of ninjas, and then overlay with 4 or 5 of them into number 86 to lock your opponent out from being able to summon. And then you OTK on the next turn. Like I said, it's really not hard to do this. It's fairly consistent. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. To start off, I play 3 copies of Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. Easily the best ninja monster that's ever been released. I don't see there being a ninja monster that ever tops what Hanzo can do. Basically, when Hanzo is special summoned or flip summoned, you can search your deck for any ninja monster. So that searches for your Pendulum scales, which is important for turboing out a bunch of ninjas. When he's normal summoned, you can search your deck for one ninjutsu art card. And we'll get into what those are later, but that doesn't come up a whole lot. Mostly, you're just going to get about 3 or 4 Hanzo searches per turn to really set up your hand and be able to make your plays. So Hanzo's amazing, so I play 3 copies of Hanzo. Next, I play 3 copies of Upstart Golden Ninja. Upstart Golden Ninja is probably the second best ninja monster, at least for the purposes of this deck. Basically, you send a trap card from your hand to the graveyard, and you special summon a level 4 ninja monster from your deck. So it's pretty much like Summoner Monk, but with trap cards instead, and it's only for ninjas. So Upstart Golden combos off really well with Hanzo for summoning out from the deck, and then you get the Hanzo search. So Upstart Golden Ninja, really crucial to getting your plays started. So I play 3 copies of that. And next I play 3 copies of Twilight Ninja Shingetsu. Shingetsu isn't really that great of a card in itself. It's mostly just here to be a level 4 ninja. Because when you pendulum summon in this deck, you can only pendulum summon ninja monsters. And since we're trying to make number 86 with 4 or 5 materials, having level 4s in abundance is really useful. While he is on the field, however, your opponent can't target ninjas, except for this one with attacks or with card effects, and when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can search your deck for a ninja monster. So it's not completely awful, but its effects never really come up. It's most importantly just a level 4 ninja. Lastly, I play 1 copy of Masked Ninja Abizu. Abizu, when he's on the field, if you control another ninja, you can return that many spells and traps your opponent controls to the hand. So Abizu will usually be the last ninja monster I search off of Hanzo. If I'm going to go into number 86, I can summon Abizu next turn and return 2 or 3 spells or traps to my opponent's hand just to ensure that I can push for an OTK with no interruption. So I like Masked Ninja Abizu, but I only play 1 because it has a very specific purpose in this deck. Next, I play 2 copies of Twilight Ninja Getsuga the Shogun. This card's really cool. It was released back in Breakers of Shadow. You can tribute summon it by tributing 1 ninja monster, but that doesn't come up a whole lot. Normally, you're just going to pendulum summon this guy. But when he's in attack position, you can change him to defense position to special summon 2 ninjas from your graveyard. So it's an instant rank 4 in that sense. But what's really good about it is those 2 ninjas are likely not going to be the only 2 monsters on the field, so it's just more materials to go into number 86. And I only play 2 copies of this guy because you most likely want to search it with Hanzo. Seeing it in your hand's not awful, but it's something you want to search and not necessarily draw. Next, I play 3 copies of Goblinberg. Goblinberg would be Yellow Ninja, however, Yellow Ninja has that awful extra deck restriction, so Goblinberg is still the best starter card for this deck. It's unfortunate that Goblinberg makes Hanzo miss his timing for his search effect, but that's whatever. What's important is that you get 2 warrior monsters out as quickly as possible to go into your Isolde, and Goblinberg is best for that right now. I also play 1 copy of Photon Thrasher. It's good when you see it. It's not super necessary to get any combos off, but it's a really good starter card. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. You don't want to see multiples of these in your hand, obviously, because you can't normal summon it. So I play 1 Photon Thrasher. I also play 2 copies of Summoner Monk. There's a lot of spells in this deck, so Summoner Monk, if it's in your hand, you're most likely going to be able to use its effect. It's really unfortunate that it's a spellcaster and not a warrior, so you can't make a Soul Day necessarily with this. But Summoner Monk can tutor out Upstart Golden, and Upstart Golden could possibly tutor out another warrior, so you can get your plays going most of the time with Summoner Monk. So I play 2 copies of that. For Pendulum Scales, I play 2 copies of Jogan and 1 copy of Kagan, the Twilight Ninjas. So I'm playing 2 low scales and 1 high scale. The low scales are 1 and the high scale is 10. The only reason I'm playing 2 copies of Jogan is because as a monster, he can special summon himself if you have a ninjutsu art card in your hand. And that's good as a starter card if you need to go into your Soul Day. As a pendulum monster, or rather as a pendulum scale, Jogan allows your ninjas to do piercing battle damage, which is awesome because when you have number 86 on the field, your opponent can only set cards, so that's really, really important for the OTK. And then Kagan allows your ninja once per turn to gain 1,000 attack during the damage step. So in tandem, they really help push for the OTK, and they allow you to pendulum summon almost anything from the deck. Next, I play 3 copies of Armor Ninjutsu Art of Alchemy. This is your only draw card for the deck. Basically, you destroy all your face-up ninjutsu art cards, and you draw 2 cards. This is searchable through something like Hanzo or something like the new Link Monster. So I like this over other draw cards just because of the searchability of it. You can also search for that card with this card, Ninjutsu Art Notebook. And this is the only other ninjutsu art card I play, so this is what you're going to be destroying to draw 2 cards. Basically what Ninjutsu Art Notebook does is you discard a ninja and you set 1 ninjutsu art card directly from your deck, and that's going to be this one obviously, and then at that point you can draw 2 cards. So Ninjutsu Art Notebook, really good for that purpose, and you can also reveal this to summon something like Jogan. Next, I play 1 copy of Rhoda, because, it's a warrior deck. This searches for almost anything, so it's super, super good. I play 1 copy of Foolish Burial. Just if you only have 1 ninja monster in your graveyard when you have Getsuga on the field, you might need to Foolish Burial something to the graveyard to be able to use his effect. It doesn't come up a whole lot, but it is useful. I play 1 copy of Monster Reborn, best extender in the game. Although maybe Soul Charge is a better extender, especially in this deck where stuff's going to the graveyard all the time, and you're trying to make number 86, so Soul Charge is super, super clutch in this deck. Next, I play 6 equipped spell cards. Each of these has a different name. This is for a Soul Day, obviously. The reason I play 6 is because 100% of the time, you're going to summon a level 4 ninja monster from your deck, so you need to send 4 of these with different names. I play 6 of these just in case I happen to draw a couple, then I'll be able to use the Soul Day's effect still. And I also try to pick cards that are best to see in your hand if you do happen to draw them. So I like something like Magnum Shield a lot. It combines the attack and defense of the monster it's equipped to, which is really, really useful when you're pushing for an OTK. So yeah, I play 6 equipped spells just for the Soul Day effect. Lastly, I play 5 trap cards. I play 3 copies of Breakthrough Skill and 2 copies of Lost Wind. I like Breakthrough Skill a little bit more in the graveyard because the idea of the deck is to make number 86, which means your opponent won't be summoning anything from the extra deck on their first turn, so Lost Wind is not as useful in that case. But basically, I only choose these cards because I think they're the most generic cards out of trap cards to have in your graveyard for their graveyard effects. But yeah, they're just here to send with the Upstart Golden Ninja to summon from the deck. And I think 5's a pretty good number. It gives you a pretty good chance of seeing one of them in your opening hand. That's it for the main deck. It's 42 cards. I have to play 42 because I have those 6 equip spells, so I want to water down how many chances I have to draw one of them. For the extra deck, I play 1 copy of a Soul Day. Really obvious choice here. Without this card, you really don't get to do the number 86 combo, at least not very consistently. On summon, you can search for one of the Pendulum scales, and that's really good because you can still play the Pendulum scale. You just can't use it as a monster. And then, obviously, if you send 4 equip spells with different names, you can summon a Hanzo from the deck and get another search with that. So Isolde is really good. I play one copy of the new Link monster, Ninja Grandmaster Saizo. I don't make this guy a whole lot. Basically, when he's on the field, you can set a ninjutsu art card directly from your deck. So he searches for the draw engine, but doesn't come up a whole lot. And then lastly, I play one copy of Decode Talker. This is just to push for the OTK and to kind of correct my field. If you have Summoner Monk on the field still, you need to get rid of that so you can make the number 86, which requires all warriors. So I like Decode Talker to do that. It's the easiest option I have. Next, I play one copy of number 86, Heroic Champion Rongo Miniad. Rongo Bongo, as a lot of people refer to it, Rongi. This card's insane, and I think most people are aware of how insane it is now. When he has 4 Xyz materials attached to him, your opponent can't normal or special summon monsters, and that includes Raw Sphere mode, that includes Kaijus. So this card basically doesn't allow your opponent to play for 1 to 2 turns, depending on if you have 4 or 5 materials. If it has 5 materials, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. 3 materials, it's unaffected by other card effects. 2 materials, it can't be destroyed by battle, and 1 material, it gains 1500 attack and defense. 1 and 2 might be reversed, but this card with 4 or 5 materials, and you're in a really good position to win via OTK. I play one Gaga Cowboy, just because these games can go long. There's a lot of extra deck space, and Gaga Cowboy can steal games in time. I play one Diamond Direwolf. I actually like Diamond Direwolf a lot because if you make this with 2 ninjas, by destroying itself, you put 2 ninjas in your graveyard to summon with Getsuga. So that's really cool. Same purpose with Castell. By detaching 2, you have 2 ninjas in your graveyard to summon with Getsuga, and sometimes the Castell effect is better than a Diamond Direwolf effect. I play one Heroic Champion Excalibur. What this guy does is he can double his attack until the end of your opponent's next turn, so that can be really useful. So it basically becomes a 4000 attack monster, and it just, again, it helps to push for an OTK. And I play one Heroic Champion Gandaiva. Doesn't come up a whole lot. It has a trigger effect that when your opponent summons a level 4 or lower monster, you can detach a material and destroy that. Can be useful. Doesn't come up a whole lot. You mostly just stall your opponent with number 86 and then OTK the next turn. But if you can't do that, I play one copy of number 41 Baguska. Worst case scenario, you make a Baguska defense position and stall until you can get your plays going. I play one copy of Tornado Dragon, just as a good Xyz, good rank 4 Xyz, very generic. Play one copy of Blade Armor Ninja. It's really good for the OTK. Basically, you detach 1 material, and then you target 1 ninja monster you control, and it can attack twice. Usually, you're going to make itself be able to attack twice, because it has the highest attack out of all the ninja monsters in this deck. And the last cards I play is just the Utopia package. My personal preference is to always play 3 cards in the Utopia package, just so I can do the Utopia the Lightning effect twice. But, that's all up to personal preference. That's just how I like it. What I'm going to do next is show you a basic combo of how to set up your field. This is a 3-card combo. 2 cards you definitely need are Upstart Golden Ninja and 1 Trap card. And to complete the combo, you can have any of these 3 cards. Goblinberg as a starter, Photon Thrasher as a starter, and then the other Trap card can be an extender, depending on how you want to do the combo. But any of these 3 cards, and you can do the combo. And for the purposes of this video, I'll just do it with Goblinberg, because that's the most likely to happen, I think. The first thing you're going to do is normal summon the Goblinberg and use its effect to summon the Upstart Golden Ninja, and then that'll go to defense. Upstart Golden Ninja is going to send the Breakthrough skill to the graveyard, and you're going to summon a Hanzo from your deck. Hanzo will then get you your first search, which is for a Kagan. Next, you're going to do a Link Summon. You're going to use the 2 ninja monsters to Link Summon into Isolde. Isolde on summon is going to search for your other Pendulum scale, so now your Pendulum scale is complete. You're going to use Isolde's second effect to send 4 equip spells with different names to the graveyard, and that's going to summon Hanzo directly from the deck, and then Hanzo will search for your Getsuga. From here, you're going to set your 2 Pendulum scales, so you have the 1 and 10, and you're going to Pendulum summon for Getsuga. Getsuga on the field can now switch to defense position, and this will allow you to summon 2 ninja monsters from your graveyard. So you can summon a Hanzo and an Upstart Golden Ninja, and then Hanzo's effect will trigger again, and you can search for Masked Ninja Abizu to use for the next turn. At this point, you have 4 warriors to make the number 86, so we are going to overlay those and put number 86 on top. And at this point, your opponent cannot normal or special summon. They can only set cards, and we have Masked Ninja Abizu in hand for the next turn to return their set spells and traps. You also have 2 other cards in your hand at this point. Those, it could be anything. They might help you draw more cards. They might be a spell or a trap card. Who knows? But 3-card combo makes a board that your opponent doesn't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! For at least 1 turn. So that is the entire deck profile. I really hope you enjoyed it. This deck is a lot of fun to play. It's a turbo-styled, very fast-paced deck, and at least in my opinion, those are fun decks to play. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know what suggestions you might have to help improve. Let me know what you play in Ninjas, and we can have discussions in the comments and stuff like that. And we'll see you later.